Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier we were talking about Caitlin Clark being
Faith is a hater, yo, you guys. I just want y'all to know. This is
congratulated.
furious. This is furious faith y'all
This
dealing
is
with
not
today.
Furious Faith. Caitlin, okay, so earlier we were talking about Caitlin Clark being congratulated by a lot of big name celebrities for breaking the all-time NCAA scoring record. And now we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys and Trey Lance.
Are we gonna?
Tate,
Are we gonna?
Tate
Are we
just
gonna?
Tate just missed y'all so much that he wanted to talk during the break. He just wanted.
Okay, so let me tell you why. Okay, I don't know who heard this or not, but I made a joke. Are we gonna be talking about the hot dogs at the Philadelphia Phillies game? Because for those of you guys that do not know this, we did a segment on the fact that the dollar hot dogs went away at the Philadelphia Phillies
Yeah.
game. And they went away because people were taking the hot dogs and using them as weapons and getting
Yeah,
kind
they
of
were
rowdy.
throwing him on
And
the field
so
and stuff.
we did a whole segment on it yesterday that no one really got to hear.
Of course, we had to cut it because nothing was working yesterday. So,
Yes. So I brought it up again, and then I didn't know Faith had sent us the break already, so y'all didn't even hear my comments. So I'm like, I'm talking about the hot dog.
they probably did hear your comments because we're not supposed to talk during the break.
Suckers need to know about the dollar hot dogs going away, so I'm talking about them.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm so upset that one didn't our audio wasn't working because that was a very good segment. I enjoyed that segment, but
I was just laughing about the fact that you got confused on the $8 worth of hot dogs, and I had to fill you in that I would eat three and I needed five back as weapons.
yeah.
Keep five in the chamber. All
Oh
right, so
goodness.
let's go into what we're talking about here.
Okay, so the Dallas Cowboys plan to exercise $4.25 million roster bonus for Trey Lance, securing the former 49ers quarterback for the 2024 season. A year after acquiring him via trade, the Dallas Cowboys have decided to retain Trey Lance for at least one more season, according to the Dallas Morning News, with plans to exercise the quarterback's $4.25 million 2024 roster bonus, officially due this summer. The move dictates that Lance will count $5.3 million against this year's salary cap, which is slightly above the scheduled cost of other notable quarterbacks, including Pittsburgh Steelers starter Kenny Pickett and Carolina Panthers number 2 Andy Dalton. It is unsurprising but notable decision considering the 23-year-old Lance didn't take a single snap after joining the Cowboys last August, spending all of 2023 as a third stringer behind Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush. Dallas could still attempt to trade Lance, who went number 3 overall in the San Francisco 49ers in the 2021 draft, but the team officially believes he made tremendous strides learning behind Prescott during his first year in Dallas, per the Morning News.
Okay. This is a topic that you don't normally talk about the third string quarterback getting a contract, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a normal topic.
Right.
And truth be told, I think we skipped on the hot dogs and Jason Kelsey retiring to
Yeah.
bring this topic to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Kelsey for retiring, one of the all-time greats.
Did you see him cry? That was so cute. He is so cute. He's like a big teddy bear. He's so cute.
Grizzly bear and teddy bear, which one is it?
Both. Grizzly teddy bear.
So the reason why this is important is it goes with a number of topics. First off, the fact that Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, he is in his last year of his contract. He cannot be franchised, and he cannot be traded. So At the end of this year, Dak gets to walk away with no consequences, no repercussions if he wants to. So by keeping Trey Lance, number one, it's a bargaining tool and a safety net. And what I mean by that, Cooper Rush is a fantastic backup quarterback and just a great guy to have on your team. But Cooper Rush is that emergency. Your quarterback goes down, you insert Cooper Rush in for a couple of games. Trey Lance is the number 3 overall pick in the NFL draft. The San Francisco 49ers traded away a lot of assets to move up to get Trey Lance. He was supposed to have been the future quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, except for the fact that Brock Purdy, a guy that ended up Mr. Irrelevant, the very last pick in the draft, blew up that no one expected. So now you have a situation where this is a reason why it is a safety precaution and a bargaining tool is this. Dak's coming in there and he wants 60, 65 million. Dallas doesn't want to pay Dak 60, 65 million. Dak's family has talked about how they wish he wasn't in Dallas. Things. What happens if Dak wants too much money or Dak decides to leave? When you have Trey Lance on the roster, you paid him his roster bonus, you still have the right to franchise him for the 2025 season and the 2026 season if you need to. Trey Lance is your break-in case of emergency guy. If you're able to come to an agreement with Dak Prescott, then Trey Lance becomes someone that you can trade to bring in another piece. Somebody else would want to trade for Trey Lance. But if you do not want to pay Dak Prescott that kind of money, and like I said, I'm on the record straight out. If he wants 60 million, this is my last year with Dak Prescott. And I think Dak's a great quarterback. But if he wants 60 million, I would rather keep the pieces in Dallas, bring in Trey Lance, and have the future start with Trey Lance. Especially from everything I'm seeing, he has made some really great strides on improving as a starting quarterback. So I love this move because it makes it so that the world doesn't end. Like when you talk about Russell Wilson getting cut, no one knows who the future is for the Denver Broncos. The only thing they know when they cut Russell Wilson is their future isn't in their locker room. That means they have no plan, no clue. And when they say, hey, fans are like, we're going to get somebody in the draft. Well, you don't know who's going to jump ahead of you, who's going to trade for whom, where you're going to end up in the draft. Can you put together some pieces and you move up in the draft? That's all we hope. We hope that we can draft a quarterback. We hope we can bring a quarterback in. These are things, these are plans, but there's nothing concrete behind it except for wishes and hopes and dreams. When you have a Trey Lance in the facility, they brought him in last year. They know he was a guy that was scouted in college, had a tremendous upside, so much so that someone was willing to move up and take him in the first round as the third best player in the entire draft. And now you're negotiating with Dak Prescott and you do not know what the future holds. Jerry even talks about, is it possible that they could lose Dak Prescott? Absolutely, they could lose Dak Prescott. Maybe, just maybe, this is also part of that we're all in plan. I know that's been talked about ad nauseum, but here is your all in plan. Listen, we got Dak for 2024. we're going to roll with Dak. We're going to try and negotiate with Dak. But if we go through this whole season and it ends the way it ended this year, the Dak Prescott experiment is over.
Mm-hmm.
We thank him for his time. We give him a nice watch, some chocolates, and then hit him with the deuces and leave. And we start the new future with a Trey Lance. That's the reason why this is so important. What do you think about this plan? I mean, it's not necessarily a plan, but my take on the fact that one, they traded for Trey Lance and brought him in, and then also the fact that they picked up his contract.
Well, I definitely feel like, if Dak Prescott is not going to be swayed at all and demands, not necessarily demand, but you know what I mean, the $60 million, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys would be like, all right, well, you got to go. Sorry. And
Yes.
the fact that Trey Lance was number 3 overall for the trade whenever they got him, I think it would be a good move to
He's a solid young quarterback. He's a little rusty. He was kind of he had all this potential. Didn't play a lot in college because of COVID and things, but everyone thought incredibly highly of him. He had a couple years in San Francisco, and last year they were prepared to move forward and make Trey Lance their quarterback of the future, but Trey Lance got injured. It wasn't supposed to be Brock Purdy. It was supposed to be they were going to turn the page on Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G. They were going to turn the page and move on from Jimmy G and go to Trey Lance. And they were fully prepared to do this until he got injured. Brock Purdy came in and
blew us all away.
Absolutely. His contract is incredibly reasonable. They could pile on a bunch of players around him. It was the best situation. You understand, even right now, Trey Lance, how much is this? How much is the portion they picked up? 5 point.
Oh, the $5.3 million for this against the year's salary.
$5.3 million is when Brock Purdy's only made nine.
Brock Purdy's not even making $1 million.
Yeah. Right. So he's making 5.5 Brock Purdy's. That's pretty much what he's making. Meaning, but still, that is a very cheap deal. You're talking about 5.3 million for your backup, or could be your future quarterback. Your quarterback of the future could be Trey Lance. But the nice thing is Dallas has him in-house. And I love this. I love this move. I thought it was incredibly smart when they did it, and people were talking about how this could be a distraction. They could be going out and getting other weapons and things like that. But this is a move that you need to make when you have a quarterback who is demanding in the last negotiation, would not waver. He wanted top dollar. Everything that's coming out this time is he wants top dollar. And Dallas can't afford to keep paying him top dollar.
Right.
And he controls all the cards. Can't franchise tag him, can't trade him. He gets to walk away for nothing at the end of this year. But you have Trey Lance. And, even if Trey Lance is a year away, you can still have a Cooper Rush and then roll into Trey Lance. The longer, some quarterbacks, it may take them a little bit longer to marinate a little bit until they're ready to cook like Russ. I just did a couple cook things there. But it's the best scenario, and most Cowboy fans and most people do not even realize that that's a possibility. You're going to hear a lot more about Dak Prescott and his contract, and it's going to get louder, and it's going to louder. the longer it goes that this contract that there's no contract signed, the louder it's going to get about the fact that they don't have it. But the whisper in the back room is, Trey Lance, we have a parachute.
Mm-hmm.
May be behind us, but you pull that ripcord and it may make it a more easier landing.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the Dallas Cowboys is going to decide to do with Dak Prescott.
They're never going to be done talking about the Dallas Cowboys. You do understand that,
yes,
right?
I understand that, Tate. But we'll have to wait and see what they're going to decide with Prescott before I guess they make a decision with Trey Lance. But with that, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be diving into our oddities of the day. So, Tate, we're about to go on break, so you have to be quiet. I'm sorry.
And I don't even have any snacks.
That's what made the power come out. Eating on air. All right, guys, we'll be right back.